Hello guys, welcome to the stream. Just going to do a quick audio test. Hello guys, welcome to the stream. Just getting a few things sorted here. Unfortunately my headphones, I unplugged them and then plugged them back in again, and there was a very slight, basically, yeah. So unfortunately, I had to plug in my what do you call? I had to plug in my headphones again, and that has meant that FSX has decided to mute on me. So we're just gonna have to quickly connect to Vatsim again. I'm hoping I can just start the flight sim again. I think I can, rather than having to restart it fully. However, the PMDG probably won't load in first time, so we're going to have to go through that procedure of loading in a default aircraft and then loading in the PMDG one again. My apologies. Or not. It has sound. It is loading. Okay, well, excuse that then. Should be all good. Go ahead and file that then. We can get you back in the sim. And yeah, it's apparently just started working. I'll just check my audio's all good. Yeah, because I've had to restart my thing, obviously. Whoa. The plane looks like it's working, despite the fact I've had to faff around with it there, so why not then? We'll continue. Seems alright. So, yeah, we're here on the ground in Heathrow. Nothing around us. I picked us down without a jetway. That's my own fault, but never mind. I didn't realise. It probably has a jetway in real life, honestly, but there we go. Stand 232, and we are going to go ahead. We've got full ETC out of here with Heathrow. We have centre, approach, and tower all online, so that should be good. Oh, number of passengers. Let's tell this now. 204. 202, just remember. We'll use Donata for the handling, and I should have actually, I need to start at the SimBrief downloader, so I'll do that now. And before we can get, obviously we don't punch in the route in this plane, you punch in the destination and the origin, and then it sorts out all of the ACARS stuff for you. It's modelled like in the real plane, like you do ACARS with ATC, but obviously that's not modelled in Flight Sim. There we go, all good, just exit that, and there we go, everything should now be working. We'll go ahead and, our reference airport is EGLL, and we need to, where is it now? There. What we want to do, we want to click ADIRU and click ARM. We'll turn on the emergency light, arm them, the emergency lights so they're good and working, and we can get everything sorted and ready to go. The flight director's left side, right side, what on earth? More sound bugs, it appears. Or is it meant to sound like that? Saying that, this plane does do some weird starting up things, so it could just be a fan. It sounds very loud, though, for being on the ground. We'll let it be. 8.5 minutes to align, okay. And normally it sorts itself out by the time you actually get to starting the engines and everything as well. It's just a weird sound bug. So LMED, actually I won't put in the flight number just yet. We'll go ahead and tune tower now. 118.5. Now I didn't restart VPilot, I don't think, when I plugged in my headphones. So yep, as I thought, VPilot is not detecting my mic, so I'll have to restart that and connect once again. Okay, sound seems to have gone back to normal now in the game. I don't know whether that was... It does happen with this plane. Right, follow our flight plan, and tower on 1185, and then approach is going to be on 119.725. 725. 119.725. That's it, perfect, ready to go then. So, we'll just grab the ATIS quickly. Information Delta, runway and use 27 right. Okay, nothing too significant about the weather today.
Taxi to runway 27 right.
Return to 5 Alpha Foxtrot, taxi straight ahead, hold at Foxtrot 2.
And we're at stand 232. Heathrow Tower, good afternoon. Skyway 61, stand 232. Information Delta, type 777-200 LR. Request IFR to Madrid, please.
Skyway 61 Tower, cleared to Madrid. Gogsy 2 Foxtrot departure, squawk 0303.
Cleared Madrid via the Gogsy 2 Foxtrot departure and squawking 0303, Skyway 61.
Skyway 61 correct.
Alright, 03...
Speedbird 45 Echo Mike, confirm where clear plan.
03
45 Echo Mike, clear land 27 right, surface wind
on
calm.
there. And...
27 right, 45 Echo Mike.
Actually, I didn't request the route, so we'll do that now. We'll click request, and then this thing will get on with actually planning everything. I'll always run through the route to make sure it's correct, obviously. Everything should all be good. We'll just let it load in now. The sound seems to have fixed themselves, so no mind, I guess. We've got another 6 minutes to wait for the IRS and everything like that. There we go. Looks like it's finished, so we'll go ahead and click load, and it should just load it for us then. And as I thought, it actually deleted the flight number. So we'll put that in again, and that should be everything now. Gogsy to Sam, then to Malak, and then Lalna, Basic, Novan, Nom2. Yeah, that's the correct route. Activate that, and we want to head to the departure, taking 27 right, Gogsy 2 Foxtrot departure.
Right, Alpha stand 5
Execute that.
5 Echo Mike, thank you.
Just check the weather down in Madrid right now, so... actually, check the weather down in Heathrow. Currently, QNH is 1018. So, we'll set that before we do anything. 1018. Right now, no clouds, nice and warm. No wind, really. Variable at 5 knots. So, pretty nice. And Madrid, 120 at 7 knots. So, it's probably going to be... I don't know what runways they use down in Madrid, if I have to be honest. Runway 18 would be my guess, or 14. 18s or 14s. I'll grab a look at the airport chart, and it'll probably tell me a better idea of how the runways are arranged down there. So I would rather a 18 right or 18 left. I'd rather use the 18s. So if I look on flight radar, I'm not sure if Madrid airport is really operating much, because I know Spain has got a bit worse lately. So I don't exactly know about how the volume of flights heading in and out, but oh, never mind, there's absolutely plenty. And right now, for arrivals, they are using, here you go, there's a lot that just landed, 18 left, that just landed on, so we're going to use 18 left, ILS Zulu 18 left, there we go, perfect. Right, so we're going to head to departure arrival, we're going to head to... They got arrival, it's going to be an ILS Zulu, 18 left, that's what they're using in real life, with the Rilco transition, and we're taking the NOM2 to Alpha, NOM2 Alpha, there it is, execute, and then we want to head to our perf init, Here it is. Cost index is 90. Cruise altitude is not 300. So I'll go ahead and reject that straight away. Our cruise altitude is 390 today, and that's probably because, that's my own fault, I haven't actually set up the payload and everything for today. That's probably why it's giving me such a stupid thing. Right, 18,900 on the fuel. That's much less fuel, as you can see there. And then on the payload, we have a 0 fuel weight today. Of a 0 fuel weight of 177.2. Boom. That's in there, and I'll request a new perf in it now to see if it actually generates something worthwhile. Because remember, I did have to change all that stuff, so it will be worth checking again to see what it brings up. It may be useful, it may be terrible. Oh, boarding's been completed. That was quick for 204 passengers. Okay, 400. It's still wrong then. It wants us to be on an even flight level for some reason. 6.4 is the reserves. I'll take that. It's normally accurate with the reserves and for 0 fuel weight there. My cruising stay at 390 is the plan, and a cost index of 90. Execute that. Takeoff. Oh, not takeoff yet. We want to head. Actually, we're still waiting on the IRSs to align as well. We want to head to. It's probably because I started the boarding so early. That's why. We want to head to VNAV and then forecast. Oh, that's not it yet. We need to wait. They go route data. Load. I was in slightly the wrong page there briefly. Execute that. So they go make sure this thing knows what all the winds are, and then we want to head to VNAV, forecast, and load. Let it all load in. Should get all the details. Perfect. And transition level down in Madrid. I'm going to get all the charts up for Madrid, actually. Saves us time later on. So it's normally on the ILS chart that you can see. Well, I'm looking at 18 left I want to look at. They go 18 left initial and final. There you go. Transition altitude is 13,000. Level is done by ATC, but that won't be the case in this one, will it? And there we go. All fine. All ready to go. Just check there's no discounts anywhere. There aren't. Perfect. So we should all be ready to go now. We'll just get all the charts for Heathrow sorted. Obviously, I can't really set anything else up yet because we're still waiting for the IRSs to align. We can turn on the APU, though. I'm going to get on the fuel pumps as well, since we're probably going to be pushing back shortly. Seatbelts can come on and beacon light can come on. Like I said, I would like to get out of here pretty quickly now, really, but we're just waiting on all the last bits to be done. Departure out of here is the Gogsy 2 Foxtrot. Are there any restrictions today? There are. It's going to be 6,000 pretty much all the way. Yeah, 6,000 until Gogsy. However, we might get cleared past that. So initial climb is going to be 6,000 today. And runway heading is 270. 270. And we can't do Almav VNAV yet. In fact, this is almost finished aligning, so I can actually get everything finished. Auto brakes, RTO. Perfect. Looks like it's finished aligning just now, so that means we can do our V-speeds. So thrust limit, I'm going to do a D-rate of 1 on the takeoff, D-rate of 2 on the climb, because this thing climbs like an absolute beast, and we've got ATC. I don't want to go messing their day up. And we're going to use flaps 5 for takeoff, I think. We're not that heavy. Yeah, flaps 5 is absolutely fine. 144 on the V. Yeah, I don't want to climb quickly. We're going to climb like an absolute rocket ship today, and I'd rather not cause a problem with ATC because of that. So climb D-rate 2 is probably going to be the safest for us today. And we can turn our TCAS on now because we're ready to push back, and we'll select weather and turbulence and weather on there, and prepare for push back and departure. We'll let GSX get sorted now. We should be all good in terms of the APU. It is running, meaning that we can go ahead and disconnect the external power, and I can get the hydraulics sorted. So I'll turn that one on first and then get everything else sorted. Close all the doors as expected. Close, close, close. And
hello,
on.
Captain. We are ready for pushback.
And then we want to go to ground connections. All that gone. Set parking brakes. Wheel chocks off. And everything is all ready in there. So that can just sit on FS actions now.
Locking gear.
That's all good. We can get this on now as well. All this into auto. Wait for the faults to disappear, then we'll turn on the elec gens. Everything else is looking all good up there. Packs are off. They're automatic, so we can turn them on even despite engine start. And elec pumps can come on. We should see now just the engine shutdown warning on here once the hydraulics fully fire into life. And we'll request ready for pushback. Skyways 6-1, stand 232, ready for push and start.
Skyway 6-1, push start approved.
Push and start approved, Skyway 6-1. Right, per pushback departure. Obviously right is our only option here, obviously.
Foxtrot, left turn Alpha, hold Alpha 3.
Release parking brakes.
Release parking brakes.
Push. All engines clear. Start at will.
There we go, and there's auto start, so right, and then introduce fuel because it's instant on this plane because of oh great. No! My mistake, guys. I forgot to start Skytrack, so I totally forgot to start Skytrack, so I can't actually start the engines yet until I've stopped, because we can't have the engines on for Fly UK. So that's my own fault. Can't believe that. Right, I'm hoping I can try and stop. And let... I can't believe what I've done there. Yeah, I basically totally forgot to start Skytrack for Fly UK. So I've got to now wait for all this to be sorted.
15-5 Alpha Foxtrot after departure, Monotune Calm 122.8, runway 27 right, service wind calm, you are clear for takeoff.
It's not letting me start it yet.
All stations, unfortunately, I'm going to have to close. Monotune Calm 1228, no further service available, resume your navigation. All stations, Unicom. Thanks very much.
Set parking brakes.
Heathrow.
Oh, wait, that didn't matter.
Waiting your confirmation for good engine start.
Unicom, and everything else has come offline as well. No approach, no centre, no nothing. That does at least mean we're not going to cause a hassle. So we can go ahead and start recording on Skytrack now. We're going to start both engines at the same time to save time. Although saying that, I generally do that anyway, just not so immediate. It shouldn't matter by the time GSX actually gets finished with us, it shouldn't matter. Trim is 2.5, it shouldn't blaze too much. Right, 2.5 on the trim. Can't believe that, I forgot to start Skytrack. Right, 2.5 on the trim. There we go, we're on Unicom, no ATC available for us, they've all disconnected. Engines are good, we'll tell GSX. Everything's ready there, so yeah, just my bad with Skytrack there. And obviously, yeah, we have done a slightly messed up pushback, never mind. No ATC then, unfortunately. I will just grab a quick look. No centre online at all. Definitely no. Yeah, no centre, no approach, no tower, no ground. So that's that for us then. There won't be any ATC today unless we get some later on. So never mind. That's a bit of a shame. Good, we'll just check my audio is okay. I have to be plugging in those headphones so much. So there we go, we're all good to go and ready. Okay, GSX wants to start them. Okay, right. Heathrow traffic, Skyways 6-1, taxiing holding point Alpha 3, runway 27 right, via Kilo and Alpha. Heathrow traffic.
Left is clear, right is clear.
Right, away we go then. So straight ahead all the way. You just told me I was good, GSX. We can turn off the APU now, actually. Please release parking brakes immediately. GSX is being weird. They're saying, please release parking brakes immediately, like really cross with me. Right, there we go, everything's all good. and done. You can see there the APU is cooling down. Checklist you can see is good. Just the flaps now before taxi. That's all good. Next one is the before takeoff. I don't know, I think we meant to be using Bravo actually, but we're using Alpha. It's like a weird clockwise system. I'm not familiar. Get rid of that, and then it'll be 1 and 5 on the flaps. Flaps 5. Go, just sort the camera out. Everything's looking good. Yeah, down Alpha to Alpha 3, and then we'll take off. I don't think any traffic is on final. There is Lufthansa, no, that's flying directly overhead. Lufthansa 455. We've got, yeah, okay, there's a ton of planes near Heathrow, but none of them are actually flying in or out of Heathrow. It's confusing. But there we go. So we've got a little bit of ATC in today, but, you know, not as much as I would have wanted. Obviously, they all disconnected. When I came online, we had full ATC, but never mind. So all down Alpha to Alpha 3, nothing on the TCAS. So we should be good to just rock it out of here. We'll keep the D-rate of 2, because I want to test how the D-rate of 2 works in this plane, to see if it's any good at actually climbing the plane. Because this thing, I have noticed, particularly on the low fuel that we take on our shorter flights, this thing climbs like a rocket, an absolute rocket. And I imagine with ATC, obviously, generally your initial climb altitude is very low, so I imagine it would be a bit of a pain. So yeah, I'm experimenting with that today. See what it's like. Right, is that Alpha 3? Nope, this is Alpha 3 here. One more. Right, line lights on, runway turn-offs on, taxi lights off. Everything's all ready for departure now. Do a quick recall check, make sure I've set up everything correctly. We're all good. Heathrow traffic, Skyway 61 taking off runway 27 right. Heathrow traffic. Alright, away we go then, onto runway 27 right, and then we'll be taking off from there. Nothing on our TCAS, you can see, which means no one's on approach, we're not going to get in the way, which is good news. Right, on to the runway we go. So it was busy here in Heathrow, and then all the ATC decided to go. There's no ATC now for the rest of today, I don't think. I'd like it if there was, but it doesn't look like we're going to have any today. And there we go. We'll go ahead and line up on the runway. Alpha and V now are ready to go, and start the clock. Toga. And away we go. Airspeed's live. We're doing a D-rate of 1 today, so we should be pretty quick off the marks. We could have done a D-rate of 2 maybe. 80 knots. Obviously there's no takeoff performance calculator on this thing, so I never really know what to do. V1. Rotate. V2. And positive rate. Gear up. And this thing will proceed to climb like a rocket there. And flaps 1. And autopilot in, we'll let the autopilot take over this massive climb that this thing does now. And speed all the way up to, there's no speed restrictions, so up to 250, we'll let the plane take control of the speed now. Just making sure this thing didn't do too much of a mad climb. You can see now with the D-rate, it's massively scaled back, and this thing's actually climbing like a normal plane. And flaps up. And there we go, we're now safely airborne up to 6,000 we climb now. A much slower climb than I typically expect from this plane, which is nice. Part because of that D-rate, this thing is still an absolute monster in the climb. We're not going to stop that, but yeah. Runway turn-offs off. Transition altitude here, remember, is 6,000, so until we pass Gogsey, we're just going to be maintaining on that. This thing is out up here. We're going to be average mileage track to Gogsey. is, well, it should say it somewhere on the charts, but I can't see it. 24 miles. There you go. Average track is 24 miles to Gogsey. We've already flown 6 of those, so just a few more miles until Gogsey, and then we'll be allowed up then to our cruise level, which is 390. Just check the plane isn't trying to get us to step climb weirdly, which it sometimes does. Why? Like, why does this plane do that? Right, 390S. If I put it in somewhere like Basic, it will just try and get me to stay at 390 the whole flight then. Oh my word. Why does it do this plane? It does really irritate me. It really does. Normally I have to do it quite close to descent, and then it's okay with it. Why can't I just turn off auto step climbs? PMDG setup, aircraft, options maybe, simulation. No, see the auto step climbs are turned off. It must be to do with using the perf init that we activate. It's weird, right? VNav, and then delete the step. Or I type 390. Why does it do this plane? Like, it wants us to go higher, but I don't want to go higher. Right, we're now turning. I don't know, we'll sort out the problem with that later on. I can't be bothered to deal with it now, it's just... So the solution before was putting /390S quite close to descent. And that seemed to... but then it does mean we can't see how long until our top of descent. But that should stop it from going up to 410. You can see there, look, the plane now has no plans to step to 390. No, to step to 410, sorry. So it should hopefully just fix itself. But it is a weird one. I don't know why it does it. And this plane is trying to... I thought it was trying to climb above 6,000 then for a minute. Wait, what's it doing? We're arcing a little bit more than I'd imagine we should. Let's go direct to Gogsey. I think our plane's being a bit weird with the arc. There's no arc there, but the plane is trying to fly one. I think it's being a little bit strange. So we'll set the heading back round to normal. And up we go to Madrid. We should be... I don't think we're going to be joined by any planes. There is a plane currently incoming from... yeah, we're good. We're not going to be joined by any planes today, I don't think. Into Madrid. We're going to have Madrid to ourselves at the moment. So they're using 1.8 left in real life, so that's what we'll be using today. At least at the moment, that's what we'll be using. Get rid of the charts for Heathrow now, we don't need them anymore. We'll go standard pressure after we start climbing after Gogsey. Right, 80 nautical mile range now as well. Because we're just approaching Gogsey now, and then we'll be allowed up to our final cruise then, which today is 390. Unfortunately, obviously this plane tries to get us to go at 410. Like, weirdly, like, we were initially planned to go 410 today, but Simbrief wanted us to step down to a lower level, and I didn't want it to do that. So in the end, yeah. I didn't want Simbrief to do that, so I didn't want it to step down to 330, so I tried just 410 and it was slower. So I thought, hang on a minute, let's try and get 390, which is perfect, kind of between, still a pretty high level, and that 390 ended up being the quickest flight level, the most economic flight level for us today, although Simbrief didn't find it first time. It did have to rely on me to find, but whatever. Right, standard pressure now, as we're about to climb now, up to 390. There we go, this thing's going to start a pretty rapid climb at first. There we go, up we go now. This thing will speed up way too much, so this plane will apply stupid amounts of going up. This is with a D rate of 2. This is as low powered as this plane can go on takeoff. It's just nuts. It's so overpowered on takeoff, this plane. But there we go, up we go then. And you can see now it's starting to level out again. Now it's got the proper speed that it needs. But no, mine, it's continued with it anyway. Yeah, it's a pretty rapid plane, this, when it comes to climbing. It's a lovely plane, the 777. They haven't got one of the new flights in yet, so it'll be interesting to see what happens there, but it should be pretty good. And you can see there's 10,000, so landing lights off now. The strobe lights should already be on, actually. We'll turn them on now. Although the lights that I turn on then don't all have to turn on. No, I think we do want strobes. Do we need strobe lights? Let's have a look. Yeah, we want strobe lights. Strobe lights is that little white light there, look. That's quite nice. And there we go. Up we go. Passenger signs, we can go auto now. Because, well, you know, we're safely sped up now and up on our way to cruise. And we should be good. And there's plenty of restrictions on our arrival today, so I'll grab a look at them. Non-2. We need to be above 150, above 120 at Orbis and 250 knots, above 110 at Rilco and 220 knots, so we've got to slow down an awful lot today. And then we move on to our initial approach from Rilco, so it's 10,000 220 knots, 9,000 220 knots, MD610 is 8,000, and then it's mandatory 7,000, not above, mandatory. And then it's above 6,000 on the ILS, and then into the airport. Madrid's it's a lot higher airport than I thought. I didn't know Madrid was high up. I really didn't. It's like 1,800 feet in the air. I didn't know that. I said my geography's not great in Spain in terms of, well, the heights of the airports and things. But there we go. Learn something new every day. And up we climb. Yeah, hopefully. I mean, Madrid's a pretty big airport, so it does sometimes have ATC on Vatsim, so I'm hoping we do get something, but not right now. We're not getting anything. And as we speed up, our ET has gone to at 2 o'clock Zulu, so yeah, we should easily have Madrid totally to ourselves. I should think. So there we go. There is a plane currently on the ground in Lisbon that's departing though, so that will probably be a little bit closer to Madrid by the time we get there, but there we go. Obviously we're still in the climb phase of our flight. We've got 660 miles left to run. No headwind or tailwind really today, it's mostly a crosswind overall, which is ground distance versus air distance. Average wind is a tailwind of 2 knots, average. However, ground distance versus air distance is higher, so that doesn't make any sense. Actually, no, I think M actually means headwind. I'll have a look at how I think M actually means headwind, which is, I know, weird. Yeah, headwind means M, tailwind is P. That makes no sense. Plus, minus. So headwind is minus, tailwind's a plus. So we're getting an average headwind of 2 knots on today's flight. Overall, so it'll be a crosswind probably. I don't think there's any significant weather today. No significant weather at all. That's all fine. Great, absolutely great. No significant weather whatsoever. Nice day for flying, really. So yeah, just climbing our way up to 390, which was the quickest flight level for today. Well, at least it was apparently the quickest flight level of today. I'll try putting in 410 on Active Sky. It doesn't really say anything. It actually says, I don't know, with Active Sky, it doesn't. It always says like you're at the most favourable level. It's because it's not going to be different. But yeah, climbing up now. Very, very clear day here, actually. Really nice. Just check nothing's going on up there. Everything's all looking cool and good. There's a bit of ATC over Germany in terms of centre ATC, but nothing else, unfortunately. So nothing special for us today. But there we go. Never mind. It's quite average for Vatsim though, having no ATC at this time of day. Right, up we go then. But yeah, this, you know, I love this plane, this 777. I mean, obviously, you know, the flight sim will be on its way soon, the new one. So, after today, I think it's like, right now it's 2 weeks and 5 days, you know? Really not long. So I really can't wait. I know the closed beta starts today, but I haven't received an invite, unfortunately. I did register with the Inside program in the hope of getting an invite. Obviously, even if I had got an invite, I couldn't have streamed it to you guys. I'm pretty sure that's a restriction they have on it. Obviously, you can't. I think the most you can share are screenshots right now. A brief, like 20-second videos, nothing special. This thing's just done a switch over to Mach speed now, so this thing will just start climbing a little bit more than normal, and then it'll start to ease down again after that. Getting some lovely FPS in this plane, about 35 FPS there, 40 FPS. It wasn't even too laggy in Heathrow, despite like having 9 planes on the ground. I don't know, FSX seems random, I think. I don't know, sometimes it's really laggy in a weird situation when it's not even that bad. It doesn't make any sense, this game. It really doesn't. Got plenty of waypoints on today's route. There's plenty of stuff. There's a 147-mile gap there. It's right at the start. There's like tons of like low-level airways we're taking out of the UK. But actually, no, they're not actually low-level airways. They're all right with us being all the way up to 390 anyway, straight away. So yeah, up to 390 we go now. Obviously, the new flight sim announced a partnership with Vatsim, so I'm really excited about that. That was the key. I think I've said it before now in my streams, but it is, I think, a key thing, and it's really cool. I'm just hoping that the fact that obviously it's going to be available on Xbox and things too, so I'm hoping there won't be anything like. Obviously, as soon as too many people get access to Vatsim, it'll end up being 1, chaos, because there's too many planes, and 2, people, because obviously the new flight sim is a bit different to previous ones. It's a lot more accessible. There's you know, all the planes have automated checklists if you want, so some people might not have a clue of what they're doing and just jump on Vatsim thinking it's like a bit of fun and then ruining it because it'll just be chaos. I mean, like, right now, even if one pilot jumps on the network and it's like, can you repeat this? Can you repeat that? Can you repeat that? What does this mean? How do I do that? It gets very full and busy. If 10 people show up and start doing that, it'll be a nightmare. So, it depends on that. I guess the thing is, hopefully, maybe they'll have, like, a system of, you know, maybe it's a tool that you have to complete if you're new to the game or something, or maybe, like, Maybe a recommendation when you click join Vatsim saying, look, this is for serious simmers. If you're still learning, try this, or try this tutorial video, or try flying this plane, you know? I don't know. Hopefully they'll do something like that. You can see they're looking just over 15 minutes, despite the restrictions at Heathrow. We're already up at cruise. This thing's an absolute rocket ship, in that sense. And you can see there we are. Flight level 390. This thing would... Okay, it's now saying till step climb. Won't tell us how long until our descent just yet. Oh, never mind. Can I delete the step climb and then it'll sort of just fix it? Or will it still want me to go up to 410 then? Yeah, it just wants me to go up to 410 now. It's so dumb though. And what if I tell it I want to step at Lelna? Is it then going to get me to stop step climb after that? It is. Why doesn't the game just understand? Like, quite simple. I don't want to step. Like, auto step climb's turned off. That's what confuses me even more. If it's turned off, what makes the game think, I don't know, I just have to put in 390S again. I'll try doing it one waypoint earlier. But yeah, it's a bit of a weird one. I have no idea why this game does that. This plane in particular does it. It like wants to step climb all the time. Like, there you go, flap speed will set that. That's obviously for Heathrow, so that will change. It's a weird thing this plane does. But never mind. And we'll set our minimums for arrival because why not? Minimums are going to be, we're a Cat D aircraft, 2162, 240 feet above the ground, 2162. So, and we'll just have to let this roll through now. 2162. There we go, 2162. So that's perfect. We're all ready for whatever now. We're all ready for arrival if needed. Obviously, this plane should tune the ILS and things automatically. You see, we're landing 18 left today. Yeah. Just take real life and check that they're still doing that. But yeah, so I'll just go on flight radar now. Obviously, we use 27 right to take off from Heathrow. You can see they're still using 18 left and 18 right now. They're using both. They're using the 18s. So yeah, they're still using the 18s at Madrid, 18 left, or 18 right, it doesn't matter. We're going to go, again, it doesn't really matter actually, I'm going to go 18 left. Actually, 18 right is longer, to be fair. And there's also more exit points along 18 right, so I think we're going to use 18 right. It's longer, and there's a lot more opportunity for exit points. But even then, there aren't many exit points. I'll have a look at where we're planning to park. If we're planning to park on the left, if we're planning to park in Terminal 4, I'll use 18 right. If we're planning to park in Terminal 4 Sierra, and then obviously if we're parking in Terminal 1, 2 or 3, I'll also use 18 right. I'll have a quick look at Fly UK, so arrival, Elliot, there's no specific stands. I'm going to use 18 right then, I think. I don't know about, is there a taxi chance for a 777? Is there anything mentioning that? There isn't. But looking at that's where the heavy gates are. So I think we're going to go to Terminal 2 maybe. I don't really know where the heavy gates are. I think we're going to use 18 right. So it's going to be an ILS Zulu 18 right. With the Rilco transition, same everything else. It doesn't really change much. It's the same procedure. Just mildly different final waypoints. Apart from that, though, it's absolutely the same. However, we have got to be at 7,000 for the ILS then. But yeah, that one's got a lot more. If I show you the map, 18 right has got many more exit points. It's got an exit point here. Oh, not there actually. Yeah, it's got an exit point there. Look, this one you have to go the full length before you're allowed to exit. It's a longer runway, and if we want to park anywhere apart from Terminal 4 Sierra, it's a shorter taxi. So we're gonna use 18 right, I think. I don't think there's a set rule. So in real life, I just saw a plane land on 18 left and picked it, but then I looked at, and then I went and looked at Flight Radar again, and they're actually using both. They're using 18 left and 18 right, so it doesn't really matter. And weather down there, 190.11 knots right now, no cloud. Okay, so I just need to get the new ILS charts on, because they are slightly different. Whether it's ILS Zulu or ILS Romeo. Minimums are 2202. The minimums. So they are a little bit higher. And that's it now. The plane should set everything else itself. And coming in from Rilco, it's 11,000, and then 10,000, then 9,000, then 8,000, all of that 220 knots, and then 8,000, then 7,000 at the ILS, and then we've got a 15-mile final to drop 5,000 feet. A bit crazy, but yeah, the glide slope starts at 7,000 feet, so we've got to drop a lot. Actually, that's weird. Bit of an unusual procedure there, but never mind. Doesn't really matter. Right. All is good then, we're all set up for landing, so we can just chill out now until it's time for descent, which probably won't be quite a while yet. So we've got a little bit of time to sit back and relax, because there's no ATC for us today. Sadly, no ATC whatsoever. We're all good now. Just flying over Jersey right now. There you go, there's Jersey. Up here at flight level 390, but all across the Bay of Biscay then, over Bilbao, and descending down into Madrid. So pretty normal route, similar route to what we did to Faro last week. Just obviously in the other direction and a little bit short. Because obviously once we get on arrival, it's like a slight left turn all the way then, like a diagonal. And then it's our arrival. So it's a very nice little arrival pattern into Madrid. I really like how organised it is and how simple it is. It's very nice. Not many airports have it quite so nice. Especially Barcelona was a bit weird, wasn't it? Like, it's one of those weird ones where you have to sort of go circling around. Obviously, as we learned, generally on ILS transitions are generally, apart from saying like this one this one in Madrid is an actual proper nice transition, but in places like East Midlands, it's generally used as basically if radar service is down in the real world, so you don't have ATC or the radar's broken or whatever, you follow that to make sure you don't crash into anything else. But in real life, without that, they would typically vector you around like we saw in East Midlands, particularly small airports like East Midlands. with lower traffic volumes, as we saw last night flying in from Dublin to East Midlands. Instead of that weird complicated procedure, we were given sort of vectors after our star, which is what you get in the real world. So that's quite nice. But yeah, all good. We're heading to Bassick. It can be a left turn then to Badder, and from there, massive gap between waypoints. That's fine. Unfortunately, no ATC. You know, if we're running to Gatwick, we would have had ATC, but yeah, I don't know. Gatwick's always more popular than Heathrow in this game, in the sim. However, there's only one plane on the ground right now, so a bit weird. Weirdly, there's someone on the... I don't get it. There's like a tower online at Biggin Hill. Like, why? No one uses Biggin Hill as an airport, so why are they staffing it? Really, really confuses me, but whatever. Or whatever. Lisbon Control is online, but no ATC other than that. There you go, making a little right turn there, straight to Batter. We've got a little plane on our TCAS there, just below us. Right, I think that's Ryanair 6 Zulu Tango from Barcelona to Liverpool. Just there, so you can see it's over 20 miles away from us, so no massive issue there. All fine. Now making a right turn direct to Novan. And yeah, 144 miles to Novan now. We can just chill out. There's nothing really to do now, really. We have got everything all set up for a landing. We'll take a quick look at the weather, like in depth, in terms of temperatures and the like. Pretty nice weather, 190 at 11 knots, 37, whoa, 37 degrees, that's warm. QNH 1015, yeah, welcome to Spain, where it's nice and boiling. It's pretty warm here today, actually. Heathrow was 26 degrees here. In the UK today, it is pretty warm, to be fair. Very, very warm. And Gatwick. How is Gatwick 1 degree colder than Heathrow? They're like right next to each other. Why not, I guess. But yeah, 190 at 11 knots, QNH 1015. Yeah, 37 degrees. That's nice. That's proper nice. However, saying that, I'm not a massive fan of sound, so I don't actually like hot weather that much, so maybe, who knows. $132 miles to Novan now. Yeah, right now no ATC anywhere, like no centre ATC anywhere in the area. Like on my V pilot, there's literally just very limited controllers right now. The only controllers on my V pilot are Birmingham, Gatwick, and Biggin Hill. Obviously, Birmingham is getting quite busy now because they're going to have Birmingham Midsummer Madness, and I was going to take part in it. And you can win a prize for flying that most over the 2 days. And I thought it would be great fun to do like a streaming day, or maybe I already streamed like a little bit of it or whatever. But I imagine it would be really cool. But one, it clashes with the F1. I'm a fan of Formula 1, and for once they are broadcasting it live in the UK for free on Channel 4. I think Channel 4 have licensing for it, just for the British GP. Because obviously I can't be bothered to pay for Sky F1, they're robbing you, honestly, it's too expensive, but yeah. And also, because all the prizes that you can win that make those events sort of, it's part of the fun, and it's also like, it's what makes taking it over the F1 a little bit more valuable. All the prizes are of course for current flight sims that you can win, so unless, and if I say yes, I can work hard and win a new plane for FSX, and then 2 weeks later, the new flight sim will release. So what's the point, It's just like, because obviously I'm not going to use FSX after the new one comes out, would I? I mean, there's no point. So, yeah. Now the plane that's on the ground in Lisbon is actually disconnected, so it's no longer, so it is looking like we're going to have Madrid to ourselves. There was meant to be a plane inbound from Las Americas, but it's just sailed right past. This Air Europa 88 has literally just flown at 31,000 feet right past Madrid, even though apparently it's going to Madrid, so I have no idea what on earth they're doing. But never mind, I guess that's that. Actually, I'll set my heading round so it's like correct. There we go. We also know now how far we have to descend, so we're going to be descending as if we're from 37,000 feet, because the airport is 2,000 feet in the air, so it's going to be 37 times 3. Minimum I'd expect is 111 miles out. It's probably going to be more like 130, 140. 335. Actually, I can already do that without plugging in the maths. I already know it's 130, yeah. 130 miles out, which is absolutely standard from this altitude to the next altitude. So it's all good. And if it knows about descent, it still thinks we're landing at Heathrow. Need to wait for that. Need to get a bit closer before it realises we're landing in Madrid. Who knows why it does that, but it does. So right now over northern France, just about to head over the Bay of Biscay. Then we'll be over, actually we're heading over Santander, not Bilbao, and into Madrid. But yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying the stream. Not too long left actually, just 450 miles. We've got about, what's that? What? Really? Oh, that was, yeah, 40 minutes until descent, and an hour and 4 minutes until we're landing. Flight time today is meant to be an hour and 38, so looks like it's a little bit wrong. Looks like it's going to be more like an hour and 40 rather than an hour and 38, but it's not too different. Obviously, pretty average to the flight time. Pretty good. Then we're flying back from Spain on Saturday. We're flying from Reus. Found some lovely scenery for Reus actually. To Gatwick. Reus is like a sort of holiday airport in Spain. It only really works during summer. Very small airport, but I have been there 3 times in real life. So it's time I visit it in a sim. I'm surprised I don't think I've actually visited it in a sim before. So it's actually kind of weird, but yeah. We're all looking good right now. 77 miles to Novan. Shit, there's no ATC. But that's all I can say. Another like useless airfield. Come on, like Goodwood. Goodwood information. Why are there so many towers and things that are online on Vatsim that are like not at all busy or useful? It's quite strange. Never mind, I guess. It's quite nice outside. It's so clear today, it's amazing, no clouds at all, anywhere to be seen. I love this livery, this crystal livery, it's very nice, very very nice. And I'm like flying this thing into Barcelona, we'll try to not smack it down on the runway. That's our aim, to not smack it on the runway, like we did, you know, it was like I don't know, it was weird that landing in Barcelona. Also, I just remembered that I keep forgetting to enable RAS Professional. Actually, wait, it is enabled. I'm positive this just doesn't work anymore. It just doesn't seem to work, like, ever. RAS Professional. I don't know, who knows? Who knows at all? Obviously, in the new flights, it won't be relevant. If they do a version for the new flights, then I'll almost certainly get it, but, yeah. Also, FSX freeware scenery, they came back online, which is really cool. The website that provides all the free scenery, that you can get like a database of free scenery. It actually came back, so that's really nice. I thought they might have taken the site down because of the new flight sim, but no. In the end, they were all good. And yeah, I don't know, what's our landing speed now? Does this thing still think we're landing in Madrid? No, it thinks we're landing in Heathrow still. I will take a quick look at the settings on here actually, to see if there's anything else I can do. It's all looking good. here. These are always just little settings. I love how many settings these PNDG planes come with, though. I think it's really cool. Like, you can just have, like, some of it is like quite cool things that you can change. Just make, to change what the plane's like or whatever, that can go back. We'll put that in FS Actions ready for our landing later on. Anyway, you can change cabin lights as well. That's what you can do in the auto cruise. But auto step climbs, no, it's weird. Yeah, you can change cabin lights. Like, you can't change the colour. That's a shame. You can change the colour on the quality wings. It's really nice. However, this week I don't really want to fly the quality wings much now. I don't know. I just fancy fly. I don't know. Recently, I've been getting into flying the Aerosoft Airbus a lot more as well. I do quite like the Aerosoft Airbus. I have to be honest. Despite the fact it's not the most. It's actually. I mean, honestly, in terms of its systems, it is all realistic. It's just a little bit different, but I really like it. I think it's quite cool. Okay, yeah, that Air Europa is still heading in the wrong direction, so I have no idea what on earth it's doing. Actually, I think it might be heading in the correct direction now, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's heading in the correct direction now, the Aer Lingus. No, not Aer Lingus, what am I on about? Air Europa. It's heading in the wrong direction and then sort of turned left, heading in the correct direction. It's weird. I don't want to land when that person's nearby, honestly. I have a feeling they're just going to not know what to do and it's going to cause chaos. They're literally heading in the wrong direction. I highly doubt, but they ended up over Barcelona before heading back to Madrid. I highly doubt that's the recommended route, is it? I don't think that's a recommended route somehow. I can have a look at the arrival they're taking. They're coming in via Sotuck. No, that isn't where Sotuck arrivals are. That is not where Sotuck arrivals start. So that's absolutely wrong. Obviously, I'm going to change mine back to the non-2 alpha. And sort back the ILS. We're taking the 18's left, right, 18 right. Just making sure I plug that into there. Add to route. Wait, that's okay. It's all good. All good. Yeah, I don't know why the Sotuck arrival does not involve that. My suspicion is that maybe they were like off the PC or something, and something went wrong, or they were. I don't know, like, it was on time, maybe it was on, like, ×2 time mode or something, and it went wrong, I don't know. That's way weird, though, how we ended up going in the wrong direction like that. Yeah, 15 miles to Novan, so we've chewed up those miles to Novan really quickly. Only 245 miles left till descent now. So not an awful long time now. Literally no wind up here, look, 8 knot crosswind. So pretty decent, no ATC in the area now as we're out of range of the UK. Yeah, that Europa's now back in the right direction, I think, but it's still going to be half hour ahead of us, actually, so we're safe. It's somehow doing 530 knots as well at 31,000 feet. Again, I don't really want to question that. I know it's a 787, but still, 530 knots at 31,000 feet is not generally what you should be doing, no matter what the plane. Generally, I mean, you know, this plane is almost as fast as a 777. and I'm up at 390, so higher, which does mean generally, winds permitting, which to date they are, because obviously flying in the same winds, generally you should be quicker at a higher altitude. 310 is a little bit out of the typical cruise range, so it's all a little bit weird with that Europa 88, but whatever. Yeah, it's not nice when you see V-Pilot like that. Empty. No controllers at all. It's not nice. I don't know, this time of day Vatsim just isn't very busy. It's quite simple, really. Vatsim's just not busy at this time of day. Not many people want to be doing flight simming at this time of day. It makes perfect sense. However, me, yeah, why not? It made a little left turn now. You can put the parking brake on in mid-air, look. How does that even work? There's no wheels. Imagine if you land with the parking brake on, it would cause some massive problems. It's a nice looking plane, this. Big massive engines. That's how we get powered up to cruise altitude so quickly. So that Aer Lingus is now why do I keep saying Aer Lingus? Europa is now heading back to Madrid in the correct direction, but by the looks of it, they'll be there half hour in front of us, so there shouldn't be a problem. Winds are now 1807 knots, 39 degrees, it's got even warmer. Wow. I need to tell the plane this, because the engines run at a reduced power when it's hotter. However, actually, there isn't a second page. However, this plane has just realised we're landing in Madrid, and it's allowing me to modify the speed. We're going to do a flaps 25 landing then, because flaps 30, that's too low a speed for my liking. So we're going to do a flaps 25 landing today. Need to remember that when deploying the flaps later on. Because it's a very long runway, 14,000 feet almost, so it's going to be auto brakes. No, it's a bit of a difficult decision this, because actually, yeah, we have to go pretty much full runway length in order to. Actually, there's a massive displaced threshold as well, so it'll probably be auto brakes 2. We'll go auto brakes 1 actually, because if we go longer on the runway, it's actually a benefit to us. Because we get closer to the terminal that way. Now, in terms of where we're going to park, I honestly don't know where we should park. There's a number of different places we could park, but there isn't a specific thing saying where to park. So, yeah, I don't know. And Fly UK haven't got a recommendation. I'll have a quick look at the arrival. There's a number of arrival briefing stuff. fine. Yeah, I'm just having a little look at everything here. Okay, yeah, the distance to here, there's a little thing about the arrival. So if we want to take Zulu 10, it's going to be a distance of 6,300 foot. Or yeah, Zulu 10. Zulu 10 is what I want to look at, so I'll have a quick look again. Yeah, Zulu 10 is going to be a 6,300 foot. So actually, 6,300 foot, that's going to be what breaks 2. And then taxi procedures, nothing. This is all to do with like where to park at certain stands. I'm not really interested in that. So there's plenty of arrival charts for us to be looking at. Plenty of arrival charts, but yeah, nothing really interesting or at all necessary. We'll look at the general stuff now. So looking at the configurations of what they do, so it's going to be 1-8 left or 1-8 right for landing. That's what they'd be using in real life. And then 1-4s for takeoff. Okay. So let's have a read through this actually. Okay, nothing in the. I was wondering if there was a way of looking at like what the big stands were and things, and having a little look at all sorts. But no, it's all good, all fine, all looking pretty normal. So yeah, I don't know. That's that then for arrival. We're all good for arrival. There's currently 5 planes on the ground in Madrid departing. So yeah. So yeah, we should be good into Madrid then. In terms of landing, I said I don't really know what terminal we will use. Actually, I'll have a look at like where things like LATAM park, because I have a feeling LATAM use like A350s, for example. Actually, where did BA park? Because BA use big planes. So if I look at Flight Radar 24 and then look at flights between Heathrow. So if I look at EGLL to Ali MD, and you can see here, British Airways 458, that uses, okay, where does BA 458 park then? Because it'll tell me on Google. Terminal 4 Sierra it uses. That's what it uses. That's what the BA uses. And then what about a bigger BA? So maybe BA 458, because they do tend to not 458. They displayed duplicates. They tend to operate a bigger plane on that route as well. Or maybe not. Then I don't know. British Airways 464. What does that use? That uses Terminal 4 Sierra as well. Yeah, okay, so by the looks of it, they use 4 Sierra in real life, for BA anyway. Obviously, that's the thing, is that's with a smaller aircraft. I was hoping they'd be operating a bigger aircraft, because they do sometimes do that. They operate 777s or A350s on this route in real life sometimes. But yeah, 4 Sierra. So 4 Sierra, I think, is the short haul aircraft. I think we'll taxi to Terminal 4. Terminal 4 looks like it has some pretty big gates. So maybe stand, I think he'd stand 330 to 340, somewhere around there. So that sounds pretty good. Obviously, yeah, the 1-4 for takeoff, 1-8 for landing in real life. So yeah, I imagine what, maybe 10 minutes till descent now? Oh, 20, okay. 143 miles. Yeah, just about 20 minutes till on our way down. You can see there's our landing speed. Flaps 25, you've got to remember, because flaps 30, that speed is a bit too low for my liking. 134, I prefer 136 as a speed. It's only 2 knots difference, but yeah, and also it'll save us time then, less flaps to bother retracting, to put out before landing, so it's just a bit easier. So imagine we'll start. Is that our descent mark there actually? No, it's not. It's an ILS. No, not an ILS. It's a VOR, but we've obviously connected to, so it's highlighted it. And then tomorrow we're going to do some streaming on Motorsport Manager Season 2 of that, can't wait. We're going to do some streaming on Tower 3D Pro as well on Sunday, so I'm going to try and survive for 2 hours at Gatwick. It gets pretty manic at Gatwick in Tower 3D Pro, but yeah. Right, before I pass Delog, I made a little left turn and then straight up. Just 250 miles to go now until Madrid. So yeah, this flight's gone by pretty quickly actually. Really. Have a look outside of the plane. Honestly, I'm never going to get bored of flight simming though, like as in looking at the scenery in the new flight sim. Like in this flight sim, there's not really much to look at, but in the in the new flight sim, it'll be like, wow. Even the water will look impressive. Be mad. I bet it'll be mad. I do. Can't wait for that new flight sim. I've got 940 hours on the present flight sim, so I might not be able to reach 1,000 hours. I don't know. It might be tricky. I was playing a bit less time on flight sim the last couple of weeks, so who knows. So we're all set up for landing, we're all ready to go. Mach 834 currently maintaining for cruise speed. It is a lovely plane, this though, I've got to say. Very nice plane, this PMDG. I wish I would have bought it a little bit earlier. But saying I have done a lot of the flights that you can do with it in Flight Sim and Fly UK, so it's all fine there. Right, 225 miles to run to Madrid now. Have a look at the weather. Weather has not updated. We'll get some new weather in about 10 minutes, I think. It's updating on the 1:30 and the o'clock every hour, every half hour. And it's just gone 2:30, so probably about 20 to 22 we'll get some weather. Because there's normally about a 10-minute delay, roughly. So they're passing Vadoc's now. Just 90 miles until the descent, so we'll see it up there pop up shortly. Yeah, 212 miles an hour. Yeah, this thing chews up miles. This thing's quick. We are now over Spain, pretty much. We're over Santander now. So just the last little bit now. No ATC in the area at all, unfortunately, but never mind. have a look inside the cabin. I don't see any passengers in there. It's a bit red, the lighting. I guess the cabin couldn't control that. I don't know. There's the two pilots. Very weird with multiple pilots at that. Oh, got a bit of weather up here. Obviously the weather radar on this thing is generally very... Oh. I was going to say the weather radar is very accurate, but... As soon as it appeared, it disappeared. So, oh, it's back. That's a bit odd. The disappearing... It's gone again. The disappearing weather is back. What's up with this weather? It's gone again. This weather's been weird. It's back. I think this weather's slightly weird. And it's gone. And it's back. Yeah, what's going on with this weather? Why does it keep disappearing and then appearing again? And it's gone. Okay, we'll just ignore that weather for now. Oh, it's back worse than ever. If weather this size goes... Is that bugged? Surely it shouldn't go. Let's have a look at the weather radar. I'm suspicious now. It's on weather and turbulence. A mist of is auto normally. I think I've changed the settings now, so it's saying variable, which annoys me. But hopefully that works now. Right, the weather radar should be working good now, but you can still see, look, it still says there. So I don't know what's going on with that weather though, why it keeps disappearing and then appearing. There are little thunderstorms you can see there. I'll have a little look along our route. There was no significant weather today, but who knows? No weather mentioned on here, but you never know. You never know. Yeah, so you can see there is a little bit of turbulence-like looking stuff. It's not red, actually it is a bit red. I think we should avoid that if that keeps being there. Maybe descend a little early or vector ourselves around it. I think it's that cloud there, look. Generally when you see high-level clouds, it is a bit of a bad idea to go through them. I tried it in a 737 once when it wasn't red, to be fair. It was yellow and green, and it was pretty bad. It can get very bumpy at times up in the air, so I don't know. It's weird though because it keeps disappearing. So I think it is certain now though. I just saw the screen flicker there with the lightning. Okay, so that weather's not the nicest. It's quite small though. So I'm thinking, what do we do? Do we descend early? I don't know, I'm tempted to descend early. It looks like it's not really... we could also climb, but since it's right before our descent, we couldn't do that, actually. You can see, literally, our descent, look, is just after it. Like, literally just after it. I'll put it down to 40 nautical miles. So I can get a better look at it. See, there's the weather look, and there's not much red. Pink is turbulence, or maybe that's really serious. I don't know. I think I don't know. At least on the Airbus, pink is turbulence. Actually, you can test. If I turn off weather and turbulence, yeah, you can see the pink goes. So the pink is turbulence, and inside it is red. So it's quite serious weather by the looks of it. Not the nicest of weather at all. So I think I could vector myself around it, but it's right before descent. So I think we'll initiate descent a little bit early. But then again, I don't really know how. Obviously, you know, weather radar doesn't tell you. It just tells you it's straight ahead. It doesn't tell you what altitude it varies to. So I don't actually know how high this is. So it might be safer. I'll say that it appears to be maybe dispersing a little bit. Nope, I think we're going to vector ourselves around it. In fact, it's a small turn of about 175 heading should be enough. Once to restart IMCP altitude. First restriction is 150 or above. So that'll be our initial descent altitude, I think. And that weather is not moving for auras, so we're going to go ahead and set heading select now to avoid that nasty weather, because we do not want to have to deal with it. And then we'll go direct to non-2 from there, because NEA is like, you know, a lot. Actually, we could go direct NEA, but there's no point. I think we'll go direct non-2, because they're sort of mixed anyway. They're sort of like that. You can see our total descent's there, so we should be avoiding this weather. I think, as you can see there, look, we are gonna. I think we'll go left 180 just to be safe. No, 170 just to be safe. I don't want to go anywhere near that. So this nasty cloud. You can see we're already slightly getting quite close to it. Just you can see, look, even here when we're outside, right, seatbelts on. You can see, even though we're outside of the boundaries, it's still pretty bad, this weather. We're just skimming around the edge of it. So it'll still be a bit bumpy, but not quite as... Whoa, that wing flex is something weird. That's not right. I think... yeah, it's not the nicest of turbulence. You can see the plane's rocking all over the place. And you can even... this is that... we didn't fly directly through it. We actually took a detour, remember? So we are having some slight issues with this turbulence. However, hopefully, I think it is clearing now. We're getting away from it slightly. We'll make the right turn to go back on course, heading 180. Now we're sort of at the correct. There you go. You can see there it's just flattened out a touch there. Whoa, it's not nice weather. Look at that. Look at that wing. Yeah, that wing's not happy at all. We're actually dropping quite a bit of altitude, however we are meant to be descending now. We'll go direct to non-2 now. and execute that, and this thing should now get a descent rate filed in for us. So we've gone direct to non-2 from here. You can see we've passed that and start to descend now. We'll probably just leave the seatbelt signs on for the whole of descent now. And we'll go Almav now and let this thing go back to its current heading. You can see there, this thing will just start to descend now and try to join back up with its course. And it appears that we are now out of the weather. So I can actually no, we'll leave the seatbelt signs off. No, we'll leave them on because of the fact that we're already descending. It's just easier at this point. So yeah, we've taken a very slight detour there, but then back to non-2 then, and we'll continue our route from there. So there's no ATC to report that to. We'll tell them that we are having some problems. You can see we're on about 1,000 feet too high now, because I obviously did have to, so I wasn't really sure when to start my descent at all there, but by using speed brakes we should be able to catch back up in no time to that. And there's nothing approaching Madrid, or nothing on the ground, but I think we'll still report on Unicorn when we pass non-2. This thing's now doing an absolutely nuts descent to try and gain back the speed. You can see there we go. We have now caught back up with our descent path properly, which is great. This thing's now slowed off the descent rate to let it catch up a touch. Yeah, that was not the nicest of weather. It doesn't appear we have any more. The weather report itself for Madrid is now partly cloudy. Few at 6,000 feet. QNH 1014. We'll get that pre-tuned in. It's quite a high transition altitude of 13,000 here in Madrid, I believe. Is it 13,000? Transition altitude, yes. I mean, yeah, this plane's now on a proper descent path by the looks of it. We'll set the heading back round to our present heading. And there we go. Down we go then. Winds are 180 at 9 knots, so perfect for a runway 18. 39 degrees. The weather, 39 degrees. Not bad. Not bad at all. We go, down we go. Now we are properly on our descent path now after that sort of faff and then trying to catch back up with it. We have got a little bit of weather off to the left there, but hopefully it won't cause us any problems. Obviously by the time we get to there we'll probably descended an awful lot more as well, so there shouldn't really be a problem. This thing's doing a pretty quick descent right now, 25 miles to non-2. We have 96 miles to go until Madrid. Obviously quite a quick final descent of about 5,000 feet here in Madrid. But yeah, because it's like 7,000 and we've got 15 miles on the ILS to just slow and get everything sorted. But there we go, that was nice. You can see there's much more weather ahead of us now. Obviously I won't be able to avoid that because we're on approach. But hopefully, as I said, we will be at a lower altitude by the time we get there. And generally, lower altitudes don't tend to have quite as bad weather. However, like when you hit it, it's still bad, but it's not quite that bad. Unless the weather report for the city, the airport you're flying into itself is like thunderstorms or something, which it isn't in this case. However, there does appear to be plenty of thunderstorms in the area around us. You can see there, look, we couldn't even avoid that if we wanted to, because it's all sort of scattered everywhere, so Obviously that one was just one small block of weather, so it was quite easily avoidable. But hopefully, yeah, by the time we actually descent, it should all clear up. Anyway, obviously, seatbelt signs are still on, so everyone back there is prepared. We're getting a little bit too much speed here though, so I'll bring out the speed brakes. So hopefully as we descend, like below sort of 200 on all the rest of it, on the flight level, we should hopefully, you can see, we can see there is plenty of clouds. The weather is quite different to the report actually. Quite calm winds, but definitely in terms of the thunderstorm side of things, not too great. In fact, we can just see inside the cockpit a little bit of thunderstorm flashing going on. But as I said, we can't exactly move around this weather, so we'll have to just deal with it and go through it if it's that bad. But I don't think it'll be quite that bad. Honestly, I really don't. But who knows? Madrid traffic, Skyway is 61, passing non-2 for the non-2 2 Alpha arrival. Then we're going to take the ILS runway 18 right, Madrid traffic. Right, passing non-2 now, so we can go down to 12,000, which is the next restriction, 12,000 or above. At Orbis, I just like to set, set the bugs in accordance with what the restrictions are doing, so it's quite easy to follow then. Make sure the plane doesn't miss the restriction accidentally. It doesn't really happen, but you never know. You never know. We'll put this down to 20 nautical mile range now, so we can get a better look at the weather. So we can't exactly avoid the weather, so however, none of it is really in the next 20 miles, so I'm hoping it will just go by the time we descend, but you never know. It is quite mountainous around here. The highest peak is about 8,000 feet, which is probably the reason for the restriction at Rilco of 11,000 or above. Make sure we don't go any close to some mountains. We don't want to go close to mountains, do we? And we'll release the speed brakes again, actually, as we're going a little bit too quickly. And also we have a restriction of 250 knots at Orbis, so this thing is now going to slow down to 250 knots. So then it's 220 knots at Rilco, so it's quite a slow arrival procedure this. Should help us with the weather in a way, I guess. I don't know whether it's going slowly actually good for turbulence, I don't know. Don't think I know enough about that. But yeah, slowing ourselves down now to 250 knots. In time for Orbis. You can see this thing is right levelled off our descent because it's known about this restriction quite a while ago and has known that we have to descend for it. You can see that it is quite cloudy, but the weather, oh no, the weather doesn't quite as bad as it's suggesting on the weather radar. Hopefully it'll clear by the time we get there. Only 60 miles left to Madrid now. This thing's suddenly descending really slowly. Just passing Orbis now, we'll go down to 11,000 or above at Rilco. That's the next restriction.
Traffic.
What? Where? It's that bug again. It's saying off-scale traffic. I'm looking on Vatsim now. There are no planes in the area, apart from this Transavia that is currently at 36,000 feet. It's just like, I don't know, I just don't get it. Right, let's go back to map mode. Yeah, you can see, look, it's not low, this plane, is it? Clearly. So I have no idea what it's on about off-scale traffic, but we'll just leave it. I mean, really, if you can't see the traffic on the map, surely it's too far away to even be a problem. No? I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me, but it's just the plane being a bit weird, I guess. This plane's descent rate is picking up a bit more now. You can see that bit of weather there in particular does not look so nice. We are going around the edge of it a little bit, so we're not going right into the centre, so it shouldn't be too bad. Obviously, it is always worse if you go right through the centre of the weather, but hopefully it shouldn't be too bad. It's very cloudy though, despite, the weather report said right now few clouds at 6,000, and before that it's been saying clear all day. Obviously right now, yeah, few at 6,000. That's not true. That's 6,000 above the airport, so that's 8,000 feet, I think, 8,000 radio. But that's few. Few means very brief clouds. This is a bit higher than promised and a little bit more than promised. However, I don't know what the weather radar's on about really. It's saying that it's quite bad, but there's no more clouds really. So that generally means that it's not too bad, but who knows, I guess. Maybe it is not great. Just 50 miles to go to Madrid now, not far. We need to be above 11,000 at Rilco now. Apparently we're going right through the centre of the... Oh, here we go, yeah, there are... It's raining? Apparently it's sunny and 39 degrees and it's somehow raining. I don't know. Maybe the weather here is somehow vastly different to what it is in Madrid, but I somehow doubt that. That's way weird. We'll sort out parking with GSX before we land. We can... As long as you're below 10,000 feet, you can actually sort out parking with GSX while in the air, which is quite cool. However, that will lag us for landing, actually, so I'm going to leave it. I'll have a look at the runways, maybe. Whoa! Not runways, have a look at the gates. Going through some thick cloud here, actually, despite the fact that apparently it's not really any cloud today, but whatever. And rain as well. However, it's not quite as bad as it mentions on the weather radar, or at least not just yet. But it might be as soon as we get a bit closer. But I am starting to be able to see the actual world around now, like not just clouds. So I think we are slowly getting through the clouds. We are just about to enter a cloud here. I think that will maybe solve our issue, I don't know. Out the other wing of the plane it's a lot more cloudy. There we go, it's full cloud now, just going into a big massive cloud and then we've exited it again. It's sort of like, not the thickest of clouds, but it's enough to like block our view a little bit and not really be able to see where the airport is. Obviously we're not flying VFR, so it's not a massive issue, just pointing it out. Now we need to be above 11,000 at Rilco, so we're probably going to be stuck at 11,000 briefly. Oh, yep, and we passed 13,000, so QNH 1014 is set. We need to slow this thing down now. We're meant to actually be down at 220 knots at Rilco, so... And for some reason this plane is choosing not to slow down. I think it's waiting till we're a bit closer because of the fact that obviously we're going from 250 knots now, not 300, so the distance does take longer to travel. Well, if we get to 5 miles out, and oh there you go, it has now decided to slow down, so obviously also we are going to be descending very slowly through this. Just 37 miles left to run now, so we are a little bit high. That's because of the restrictions and all that. After this we will be allowed down a little bit lower, waypoint by waypoint it's allowing us down. You can see the weather's now starting to clear now, we're passing it. It is still raining though, which I find a bit weird. But you can see that the overall turbulence really is not that bad. We can set this down to 10,000 now, ready for the next waypoint, as it appears to have the restriction under control, which is great. Obviously seatbelt signs were switched on way earlier, so we've got no problem with that. No ATC in the area, no planes heading for Madrid at all, so all fine. There you go, we're at 11,000, we're just about past Rilco, and then we'll be allowed down to 10,000, so this thing will probably just keep doing like quite a quick descent downwards each time. I don't know. You can see there now, look, we're doing 1200 feet per minute, look. So, yeah, it's quite a slow descent into Madrid, despite, you know, we are only quite a short amount away now, just 30 miles. This thing is in quite high power, despite us now going a bit too quickly. Who knows why. So, no, it's a lovely arrival, this, actually. Like, it's quite nice and set out, quite, you know, easy to understand, makes sense. It's moaning at us to say our speed brake is, look, speed brake extended, and then drag is required, though. So why on earth are you moaning? Look, drag required, look, drag required. So that means it's so dumb. Right, hopefully now we're going to level out at 10,000. Next restriction is going to be 9,000. Oh, apparently some horrible weather ahead here, despite sending actually quite low now. Yeah, should all be good. Should all be good. Not too bad. Past 10,000 now, landing lights on. Obviously, seatbelt signs are already on. Can't actually see this next waypoint because it's so, you know, so much on the weather radar to look at, but we're slowly making our way through that. This thing's now slowing itself down. I'm going to take manual control of the speed from here, 200 knots. And we're now cleared down to 8,000 at this next waypoint now. These waypoints are all very close together now. So it's quite hard to keep a track of, but we're all good. We're managing well. Just got 24 miles left to run now. Hoping we can break out these clouds now. Oh, let's we can do with speed brakes actually. And we'll go flaps 5 as well to help us slow down as we can. With all this turbulence, it can be quite difficult to slow down at times, so. And we should be there. Go. We're starting the ILS then. It's a nice, gentle run onto the ILS, which is 7,000 feet. And once we're at 7,000, I'll then arm the approach. Actually, you can arm the approach now, really. It's a straight line onto the approach, so why not? And this thing will just get us down to 7,000 now, nice and calm. You can see we've broken out the clouds now, so it should start to get a little less bumpy for us. And we'll go flaps 10 now. Remember, it's a flaps 25 landing today, because of the low speed. We'll go 190 knots now, just to help this thing slow down a little bit more. And spoilers can be armed, ready. And we're all ready for landing now. We've got the localizer armed. Everything's all good up there. Madrid traffic skyways 61 established on the ILS for runway 18 right. Currently 17 miles out. Madrid traffic. So then we go down to 7,000. We just, you know, advise the traffic of our intentions. There's currently 2 planes on the ground in Madrid, a Ryanair departing and an Air Europa on the ground after landing. There's the airport in question, Madrid Barajas International Airport. We can't go any further than flaps 15, otherwise the plane will shout at us for not having our gear down. We're on the glide slope now. Go around altitude is 6,000, so we'll set that in there. And we'll set this to runway heading now, which is 181. And down to 180 knots on here. We'll allow it to slow us down a little bit more now, as we're just 14 miles out now. Cabin's ready for arrival. Get a little bong from the cabin crew to tell us that. This thing is struggling to slow down, interestingly. We'll set 160 knots now. Yeah, this thing is really struggling to slow itself down properly. Quite nice calm weather now. What's that? Is that a runway over there? No, it's a very tall building. It looks like a runway from far away. You can see there's the airport in question. We're going to be taxiing to Terminal 4. We'll go on to here, look, and we kind of look. Let's have a look at the heavy. Apparently we can take a medium gate as well. I want to know where the heavy gates are though. There aren't any heavy gates. So we're going to take the medium gates, which are apparently big enough. Stand 336. Madrid traffic, Skyways 6110 miles out from runway 18 right. After landing, going to taxi to stand 336. Madrid traffic. Alright, there we go. Ready for landing. Down to final approach speed of 135 plus 5, so 140 knots is our approach speed today. And this thing is just doing like the world's slowest slowdown. It's like try to slow down as much as we can. Got a bit of a crosswind here, bit of a mix. No need to put the gear down just yet, we're still 8 miles out. You can see a bit of a crosswind, 15 knots actually. It's meant to only be 9 knots, however we've learned already today that the weather report for Madrid isn't really that accurate, since it was raining on approach and then proceeded to have much lower cloud and much more cloud than expected. So, right, there we go. Right, on the spoilers, we'll drop the gear now and we'll get set for landing. And once the gear's down, we'll go flaps 25, so not full, just a little bit less than full today. Gears down, flaps 20 and 25, and we'll go ahead and disconnect the autopilot now. Also throttle will manage itself because it idles by itself on landing, I've discovered, so that's fine to handle itself, which is great news. Yeah, actually the weather hasn't calmed down now. I got a little bit closer to the runway, so that's kind of good. There's our runway ahead. Whoa, this weather is it's like gusting a little bit. So we had 9 knots, and it suddenly gusted to about 17 knots. There's no gusting mentioned on the weather report, but the wind's definitely gusting a little bit. I can feel it. So we'll have to watch out for that then. Now we're landing. Obviously if we have a little gust on the short final, that can be an issue. Obviously no rudder pedals, so yeah. And there's a massive displaced threshold on this runway as well. That's quite important to note. Also you don't want to land on the displaced threshold. You want to land after that. We're being blown off to the left now, after being blown off to the right.
18 right.
Okay, RAS Professional's working now. This doesn't work in Heathrow, I guess. There we go. I can see they're approaching the runway now.
400.
A little bit high up apparently, however I think we're alright, because again, remember, we don't want to land, we want to land on the touchdown zone, which is the the biggest white squares on the runway, and then the smaller ones is where we have to touch down. By minimums, continue.
100.
Right, everything's all ready for landing. Let's try and get a smooth landing in though.
40. 30.
See the plane, the auto throttle's gonna idle the plane now itself. Oh, minus 342, not bad. It felt a bit smoother than that, honestly, but okay. And reverse is out. And 80 knots. Reverse is in. And we should make Zulu 10 here, which is a fast exit point. We should easily make that. And stop the clock there, 1 hour 42, a little bit longer than planned then. Yeah, and we should easily make Zulu 10. Right, retract the flaps, retract the spoilers, and line lights off. There we go, that one didn't want to turn off. And taxi lights on, and EPU on. Hello and welcome everyone to Madrid. Skyways 61, vacated runway 18 right, taxi stand 336, Madrid traffic. Alright, there we go, all good. Taxi down here now. There we go, we can turn off the auto brakes now. Everything's all good then. Well, there's a lag as GSX loads in. Very large lag as GSX loads in. Yeah, stand 336. We're going to make straight ahead now, and then right on our second opportunity. No, first opportunity. Going to make a right turn, and then it'll be a left turn, and then probably into. I think there is a certain like way you're meant to do this. There's like a certain taxi route that's meant to be followed, but we won't bother. And yeah, this taxiway takes us all the way through to the gate, so we'll take this one. Hello and welcome everyone to Madrid then. Flight time 1 hour 42, so about 4 minutes more than planned. Not bad, got some nice custom terminal buildings here for this scenery. Very nice scenery actually, it's in the right place as well of the world, which is pretty amazing. Considering it hasn't actually been scenery collected, I think it was in the right place to start with. It is one of the custom sceneries, that's probably why. FSX does come with a few custom sceneries that aren't that good, but they're custom sceneries, and I think Madrid was one of them. We've got nothing on the ground here really. There's there's 2 other planes at the moment, one Ryanair, one Air Europa, however I can't see either of them anywhere. We'll head straight ahead and then left up here, and then that's where our gate should be, on the right somewhere. We can turn off the flight directors now, and we can disarm the auto throttles. We don't want to turn left here because that's for the remote stands. We're not parking a remote stand. We want to go 2 taxiways further. No, we'll go 1 taxiway further because that still allows us to go into the gate. No, it does. We'll go to the next one then. Now, hang on a minute. We can't do that. We have to go left and then right. Can't just go straight onto it, which is a bit silly, but never mind. So a left, and then a right, and our gate should be somewhere along here. I'll make a left turn, I'll go another right, pretty much immediately, not to this gate, but the next one. This was apparently the one that fitted our plane, according to GSX. Then we'll make a right turn then, into the gate. See there, lines up with the gate then, and GSX Marshal is going to start marshalling us in. I don't know what's happened to the numbers. There they are. Oh dear. I have a feeling we're going to end up inside this GSX Marshaller, almost certainly, because that's just what happens. No, now we're on the right track. In terms of, but yeah, we're definitely going to end up inside this Marshaller, almost certainly. Despite the fact that I'm just thinking, if this gate actually fitted this plane, we shouldn't end up inside the marshaller, but, you know. We'll go outside to have a look. I want to get parking perfect. There we go, perfect parking, and hopefully it'll say that. And off go the engines. And the plane somehow rolled forward with the parking brakes on. Right, and actually, yeah, this stand does actually fit us. We didn't end up inside the marshaller, so this stand fits perfectly. Oh! He's dancing. Whoever made GSX, FS Dream Team, whoever at FS Dream Team dreamed that up, gold star to you. I have that. Why not add a little bit of comedy? It's great. Honestly. Alright, right, let's go ahead and get... Well, that jetway's facing upwards, that's a bit weird. That jetway's a bit too high, actually. Whoa. Whoa. Why is the jetway in mid-air? Yeah, why is our jetway in mid-air? That's strange. Right, doors disarm and open. And open all the cargo doors as well. And request deboarding. And ground connections, wheel chocks on, parking brakes off. And connect ground power. Ground power on, APU off. All the lights apart from the nav lights off. And hydraulics off too, and the elec pumps off as well, and the packs can come off, and the fuel pumps can come off as well. And there we go, everything is all good there then. Turn off the seatbelt signs and let everyone get out of their seats. Hello and welcome everyone to Madrid after 714 miles of flying, according to Skytrack. Yeah, I don't know why the jetway's in mid-air, but it is. We'll also open the back door, because there's a stair there. And why? What's going on today? Why is that baggage half hanging out of the plane? Yeah, I don't know what's going on today. And why is it floating? Is there a slight, like, elevation problem with this scenery? Because everything's floating. Look, the baggage is floating. The jetway's floating. Nothing else is floating, but that's just weird, that is. Oh, and then it stopped floating, look, that's strange. Right, stop recording on Fly UK. And there you go, everything is all turned off, everything is all dealt with and finished on today's flight, everything's all done with. So there we go, we'll leave the plane like that, we won't bother going cold and dark today. We'll go ahead and disconnect from the Vatsim network now. And that is it, guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you really enjoyed. Join me tomorrow for some Motorsport Manager. And then on... Why did our rudder just turn to the right? There's some weird things going on with the flight sim. Okay. Yeah, join me on Friday for some Motorsport Manager. And then Saturday we're flying from Reyes to Gatwick. And then on Sunday gonna do some Tower 3D Pro. And I hope you guys do really enjoy the content. And I'll hope to see you in the next one. I will leave you with the background music, and without further ado, bye-bye!